Alright, we didn't have any strings, so we're using electrical tape.
This is fully duct tape.
Or duct tape, yeah.
Alright. So I'm going to match up those two notches. And then I got to cut this end off. I got one extra leaf here. Where's my
Knife?
Where did I put that knife? In my pocket. Okay. Now I'm going to try and duct tape a basket. I never tried duct tape a basket before. This should be fun to duct tape a basket.
Aren't we doing a hat?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Same difference. They start the exact same?
This is exactly the same. The only difference is the bottom. Okay, so now ideally, I'm gonna get this shit jammed into the notches to actually hold it. Because the notches are what make it stay at the size. It's a little thick over here.
You gotta be picky, huh? Otherwise it ain't gonna work right.
Yeah.
And you can just kind of feel how much it curves at every little spot, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, is it gonna crimp here? Yep.
See how much I got off that time? We'll try it. Still tying it up with duct tape ain't easy. Okay, here comes another one. Into the notch. Give it a little twist maybe.
Maybe. This is... Duct tape is a new technique for trying to see if it works.
Give a little twist into the notch. Okay, if you can get it in the notch, then in some sort of fantastical act, over to the other notch.
As you would do with a string.
Yeah.
Probably makes it a lot stronger using just one string and twining it together that way, huh?
Yeah. Then you can go really tight, really tight. There's a couple of to tie it off techniques I use. It's really hard to show you with the duct tape.
Without string.
But I can absolutely tell which baskets I've done by the tie, by the string inside.
Like,
from
you see somebody else,
ago.
you're like, what a junk nut. That wasn't mine.
This is ridiculous. Quality control over here. This guy used duct tape on this. What kind of duct tape action is this?
You're like, oh yeah, I did that second day of 22 because Ryan didn't have any stinking string.
Alright, I'm going to do a couple of reinforcements on here. that sand
That
on your...
floral tape would probably be...
No, it falls right off after.
Really?
It doesn't hold up good enough. The only thing I use that floral tape for is the roses. And it's like worth buying 10 rolls just to have it for roses. Because the roses last forever if you use the floral tape, like years and decades. My great grand aunt still has one from when I was 13. Still have those roses you gave me, remember? $19.91. All right, it looks less than trashy. Okay, and then we gotta take and roll them all in a circle. You gotta massage the leaf like this. You can grab it and you kind of bend the leaves and the sticks and the middle all together at the same time. And just kind of get them used to bending. So a lot of guys will get them in these rings like this, tie it up and leave them in the car, leave them in storage for a couple of days. And get them more used to being bent. Otherwise you can just sit here and do this for a while. Which is kind of fun because when you're ready you can go.
Papa,
Yo!
you invited to go inside the outside the water.
Into the outside?
Whoa, and Mama and me.
I'm gonna show Ryan how to make a hat.
We can pause for a water break.
Okay, to make a hat, you start with a leaf, with the stem up, and you go.
Where's the spoon?
In the box. You go over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, like this. Okay? You take the leaf in front of it, this one right here. Pick one, then you go under,
Pick one, Dex.
over, under, over, under, over, like this. And then you flatten this sucker out. See? And you keep it loose. Then you take the next one.
Come on, Papa.
I'm gonna.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're mush. They're total mush.
Then this one just follows suit. Hold it in with your thumb, tweak the stuff a little bit, go to the next one. Same thing. Hold it with the thumb, even it out, keep it loose, go to the next one. The whole time you're doing this, keeping it loose, doing this, doing that, put it up against the leg. This is gonna train it to go out. And these things naturally want to go up. They naturally want to do this, which is how you make a basket.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes. Whereas a hat, you want it to be flat to make that brim. If you make a basket the same way, you end up with a big platter, which is awesome. No one ever makes platters. I make platters. Okay. It'll start getting a little bit harder to hold, but not too bad. Some of these are inverted, bro. Look, I had it twisted. That's funny. See how this one's got the stick up and this one's got the stick down? Isn't that funny? Okay, so you get to see some of the traps that happen too. Okay, always keep the leaves facing the same way.
Yeah, it's hard kind of visually to look at because
We're building something
they're not
that hasn't
tight
been
yet.
started yet.
Yeah.
This is going to be the end of the brim where it does this little peak thing. So you can see it starting to form that. So that's why I'm encouraging these to go up. They kind of want to do this thing.
Right.
I bend them in like that. Get them doing this point. Everything tucks better that way. how we just hit that first leaf in the pattern? This was the first one we
Oh
did.
yeah, back
So
to the
then we
beginning.
just right up underneath that one like it's already in the order.
Like it's already ended.
Okay. Like so.
So you have to continue to hold that. Oh yeah, H1. Huh?
Basically, once it gets to a certain point, then they'll start to hold each other. But it's hard to tell when that point's going to be. This one can be confusing because you got to get it right in between these ones that are already there. But still just going to the next one, repeating the same thing over and over
I
again.
guarantee when I was trying to do my last one, I wasn't keeping track of the, the lines staying on the bottom.
Right. Yeah, you want to have this bending up with the leaf facing the right way. And then you got to go through in order, tighten them up, tell them what to do. So, I'll pull it tight here while I'm holding it, right? Give it some pressure to pull it tight, and then grab it with these fingers, and then come back through and sort it, tell it where to go, and move on to the next one afterwards. This next one after one is going to hold it in line where I want the last one to stay, right? They hold each other in. So as we work it, bend it and teach it how to do its stuff.
Wow, there's like almost no gaps when you get done this way, yeah.
Yeah, and you can keep going tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter as long as you want. And just kind of teach it how to do its thing. And going in order like that, because then they'll all hold each other in. And I'm still holding all of them, but really all I have to do is like hold this last one.
Because they're already holding,
Each other,
themselves.
yeah. But you gotta like bend this one back, how it goes. Crease that, bend it back, and then you can go back to the one behind it a little bit. Then this one. So you gotta fold it the right way. Make sure it creases up so it lays just right. Alright?
Yeah. What do you call the stem of it again?
Meow.
The neo, yeah, you gotta keep that down.
Okay, and then I already messed up too. A big one.
Oh no.
When you're making a hat, you always want to end up with these things facing down. Okay? So,
the neos?
no, the spikes that are going up. So I got to go back through and put them all back down. All right. Because
And you would have done that at the very end when you started going over them?
you know when I was going over, under, over, under, over, under, I would have
Uh-huh.
ended with under instead of popping back over, like, you know. So they ended up facing down automatic. I wouldn't have to go back in a circle and tuck them all again. Because then we got to go back in a circle and wrap them all around this so you have a headband and you don't have just like your head on a stick wrap.
On the roughness.
Yeah, it'll go like this.
Mm-hmm.
Pull
Way
this one
more
back,
comfortable.
tuck this one in. Pull this one back, tuck this one in. You can do it by feel after a couple of minutes. So you can chat with tourists about some stuff. Alright, what did I do? This one goes down there. This fucker has to go down there.
So if you had done one more over or under, then it would have already been down.
Yeah. Then I'll take and just fix a couple of them. That one's sticking out far. Anyway, you can go around and around 100 times and get the brim how you want it, but that's your hat brim. See how these are the skinnier leaves on the bunch, and you can tell?
Okay, yeah.
The brim's fatter, 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 and then it gets skinny.
Yeah, that's what you want is the...
That's because the leaves were skinnier on that section of the actual big frond. Okay? So we don't have enough length left to build the top. Okay?
Because I couldn't get a big enough frond.
Yeah, and we don't have enough to make a bottom. If this were a basket, I'll just show you real quick if this were a basket. You would count how many these are, okay?
Guys, we got 60.
1, 2,
Nice.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's how many I thought there were. You gotta take that number divided by 2. That's gonna be 8.
Oh, you're making a hat. You got a knife? Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta count out 8 of them in order. Because it's half.
Sorry, I forgot the video.
No worries.
You get them all in order like they want to be, right? In the order of them in order. Okay. Now you're going to take this one on the other side of those 8. You go over those 8 and then back down underneath the 9th one. Okay?
Okay.
Tuck it down over here. Okay? Then the next one, it comes out here. Freaking gone. I don't know where it is. Anyway, then that one comes out and goes over all these and tucks under this next one. And then the next one tucks under 8 and goes under this one.
Okay.
And this one, and this one, and this one, and this one until you go all the way around. And then you get those all tucked up, and then you got the bottom of the basket. There you go, half of them. And if you got 15, you're gonna go over, you're gonna assume there's 16. So you can go over more than half rather than less than half. Because if you go over less than half, your bottom's gonna have a hole in it. Because you're lying from here, going across halfway. See how it's going halfway? That's closing up your middle. Now this one will go and this one will go, and they'll all overlap at the middle, so it's tight enough that it makes them have to like do this little cool little shape in order to bend there. So it'll almost hold water when it's green. If you go over less than that, then it's not going all the way across 180 degrees a circle. It'll only go across 140 degrees a circle, and that'll leave a gap in between them all at the end. So it wouldn't hold nuts and berries anymore. They'll fall right out.
Right.
But sometimes you end up having to do that if your leaves are too short or something like this. But
I invited you.
you invited me? I know, I'm gonna come up to you in just a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna trim these a little bit just to make them easier to work with, because I gotta tuck them underneath a bunch of little stuff. And those dead haggard ants are a pain. Okay. We don't have enough length to do any of the stuff we want to do, so we're gonna just make just a hat brim with no top.
Okay.
So now that we got these coming out the bottom, we're gonna come back up like this. I'm gonna come up here, I'm gonna tuck it through here. I'm gonna go straight through this leaf. I'm gonna keep trying it until it pops out here. Okay. So that's gonna come around. The next one's gonna come around into here. And we'll tuck it into this next loopity doopy. Into the loopity doopy. Then the next one.
What time is it, guys?
I think it's like 1:30.
Oh, really? That's it?
1:45.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I'm just gonna keep tucking them in an order. And then I kind of like it leaving these hanging off because it makes it look cool.
Yeah, a little flare.
Yeah. You can shred those up later and they'll be frilly.
I bet. won't be out of here by Tuesday.
They do curls and stuff.
Because I'm starving and we don't. The macaroni and cheese is a failed experiment.
Are you guys just chilling at your house this afternoon? Yeah. Okay, well then maybe we'll swing by if we're done with all of our stuff.
That'd be cool.
Maybe we could run my car.
Yeah.
And I can take back down.
Oh, that would be great.
I need to get,
Look at the sunscreen.
yeah.
It's good.
I brought my thing I need to return and the receipt. Amazing, eh?
Oh, for Target?
And I'd like to see if they have any GoPro accessories.
What do you need?
I want waterproof casing and I
Oh,
want a
shoot.
handle thing that like actually can take in water.
Oh, yeah.
We should figure out how to get all the girls to go to Target so we don't have to go to Target.
I don't want to go to Target.
It sounds like I just got signed up for Target. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. We got 3 cars. Let's figure something out so the boys don't got to go to Target.
I don't want to go to Target.
I don't want to go to Target.
It's a high price to pay, Ryan.
Yeah, I didn't know all what I was getting signed up for today. They're doing the manta ray dive tonight, so I got to figure out what I'm doing in
Are
between.
they doing that on Chris's boat?
No. They did something else with him the other day, but
You're in the water, right?
Yeah, it seems like they could get on that boat pretty easy. I hit them up on the manta ray thing, and then they went on something else and not the manta ray thing.
Yeah, so I was like,
Do you like my art, Dax?
no, it's
I'll make you a hat, dude.
Jax is like, I want to go out there. I'm like, if I had water shoes on, I would have been better, but he's so poorly, like, yeah. He's a little
did you know your dad was the great white weaver? Daxie?
Then you end up with a hat.
Nice.
Now, granted, it's with the leaf you found on the ground, but
I did cut it off the tree, but
uh,
I couldn't get high enough to cut the whole thing down.
yeah, with a little bit more kind of massage and finesse, you can teach them what to do a little bit. Like I could loosen this up, and we could try to tighten this down and kind of compensate for that weird little thing, but there you go.
Thank you. Sweet.